Okay, everybody, you can take out your math notebook back out and a pencil. You do not need your device right now, so if you could keep that locked and face down. We're not going to be using that today during math. But in your math notebook, I want you to open up to the next clean page. And you're going to draw a line down the middle of that page. If you'd like to fold your page in half, so you can get it right down the middle, kind of like we do for our spelling test, you can do that, so you know it's perfectly in the middle, or you can just draw it. Once you do that, on the left side up here, I want you to write basic multiplication. That's just on the left side. And I'm going to spell it up here. If you're not sure how to spell it, because multiplication is a big word. Okay, we're going to start with what I know you guys already know, basic multiplication. I'm going to come to each row and give you a sticky note. What I want you to do is on your basic multiplication side, you're going to practice a few math facts. So if my row were to get the number 9, I would write 9 times, 9 times, 9 times, and you get to pick any 3 numbers you want to practice with. So Miss Candace's going to pick 9 times 3, then I would solve it. I'm going to pick 9 times 5, I'll solve it, and I'm going to pick 9 times 7. And independently, you're going to solve. So if you're in Brock's row, I want you to practice 3 multiplication facts with 3. So all 4 of you use a 3. Give me 1 second, Brock. So you can go ahead on that left side. If you're on this row, I want you to do it with 4s. So 4, you get to pick your second number. If you're in this row, I want you to use 5s. If you're in Zay's row, use 6s. If you're in Ash and Anna's row, use 7. If you're in Tim and Jack's row, use 8. So right now on the left side, you should be solving with 2 one-digit numbers what your quotient would be. Practicing what we already know. So since you only got to use one number, let's talk about some of them. Brock, what's one of the problems that you did?
9.
And what did you get for your answer? 21, so 3 times 9. Which one? 3 times 9 equals? You got it. 3 times 9 equals 27. Jaden, what's one you did? 4 times, oh, let's pick a 1 digit. So did you say 4 times 12? Let's do a number between 1 and 9. What's another one you did for a 4? 4 times 6, what did you get? 4 times 8, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What's 4 times 8?
32.
Exactly, 4 times 8 is 32, awesome. What about in our back row, Riley? What's one that you did?
I did 5 times 8 equals 40.
5 times 8 equals 40, awesome. Sadie, what is one that you did?
I did 6 times 6.
6 times 6, and what does that equal?
36.
36, you got it. Anna, what's the problem that you did?
I did 7 times 6 and I got 42.
7 times 6 equals 42, awesome. And Timma, what's one that you did? 8 times 8 equals 64. Okay, good. I can tell you guys got that down. Now, on our other side of our line, we're going to write basic division. And again, I'm going to spell it up here. Forgot to write the word basic. Okay, so on the other side of our line, we have basic division. Now this time, when you came up with your answer, so you have it right here, Brock told me that 9 times 3 equals 27. So on my basic division side, I'm going to write 27 divided by 9. And then you're going to solve that. Whatever your next problem was, my next problem was 9 times 5 equals 45. So my basic division side, I'm gonna write 45 divided by 9 equals. So on our left side, our basic multiplication, your number is all the same. Now on your division side, I'm not gonna give you a new sticky note because you're still using that same number. So go ahead and see if you can solve that other side. Yes, Brock?
Are we at that? And, since like 9 times 3 equals 27, do we write like the 9 out there? Or do we write like
You will write the 3. So since the 3 was your number, you 27 divided by 3. Yes, Stephanie.
So when I divide, if we like, so I did 3 times 5, so when I divide, I could have done 15 divided by 3.
You got it.
Or could I have done 5 divided, or could I have done 15 divided by 5? Except that.
You could do both.
Okay.
Okay, so now you have 3 problems on each side. I'll give you just one more moment to finish. I see a lot of people still writing. I want you to look at the 2 sides of your paper and look how the basic multiplication and the basic division are similar. I want you to turn and talk to a partner and what you notice about the multiplication and the division problem. How are they similar or different looking at the numbers? All right, let's bring it back together. And Yuna, can you tell me something that you and Luke talked about when you were comparing the 2 sides of your paper? It's like the backwards division? Yeah, exactly. You got it. You notice the numbers, how they, when they just flip sides. What did you and Stephanie talk about, Weston? The same thing. You guys noticed that too? You write it backwards. So tell me one of the ones that you guys had that where you could tell it was just backwards. Right, so they did, here they had 9 times 3 equals 27. And on the other side of their paper, they did 27 divided by 9 equals 3. Now, like Stephanie asked me, what if I would have done 27 divided by 3? It would equal 9. Again, the same numbers. Riley, what did you and your partner notice?
Cooper and I noticed that each time we had a problem, that the answer of the multiplication problem was going to be the
I like that you're going to use the product of your multiplication was going to be the
dividend and the divisor of your
division
problem.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. It's a lot of big words that you're trying to say. I like how Riley brought in our vocabulary. She said the product of our multiplication problem, so your answer, was next going to be used as your dividend when you divide your divisor in order to get your quotient. Jaden, add us one more thing.
Russia, like, division is like, it's almost like flip-flop as like multiplication. Like,
Yeah, exactly. I like that. It's like a flip-flop.
The numbers are just back.
Right, so if you know your multiplication facts, you also know your division facts. Okay, friends, under that, I want you to draw a line all the way across horizontally, so your paper is still divided in half, but draw a line. Now we're going to keep going on our left side back to multiplication. Okay, this time, everyone's going to do the same problem. So Ms. Cantor's going to write up 4 different problems. I want you to write them, and then we'll do them. So the first problem I want you to write on your left side is going to be 50 times 7. Then our next problem you're going to write is 30 times 4. So remember, you're not solving them quite yet. I'll give you a moment. The next problem you're going to write is 600 times 3. problem you'll write will be 5,000 times 5. All right, independently, I want you to solve these 4 problems, and then we're gonna talk about them. I know you can all do them. They're big numbers, but think about your place value. Luke?
Is that a 3 next to the 600 or 5?
Yes, this is supposed to be a 3. It's supposed to say 600 times 3. Sorry, I would rewrite it if our eraser was working. There we go. Okay, let's look at some of them. Can someone raise their hand and tell me what they got for our first one? 50 times 7 of brush. How did you know that?
Because if you do 5 times 7, that's 25. So you have to look at the first value and then 50, and then you have to add and see if it's 25.
Exactly. He told us that he saw his basic multiplication fact of 5 times 7, which he knew was 35, and he knew since he took away that place value of the tens, he had to add it back in the end. Let's look at our next one. 30 times 4, you know, what did you get?
120.
120. And how did you figure that out? Mhm. Exactly, you knew you took away that 10, so you had to bring it back to 10. Okay, let's look at our next one we got there here. 600 times 3, Sarah Beth, what did you get? 1,800. Can you tell me how you figured that out?
So I really did 0 times, 0 times 3 equals 0, 0 times 3 equals 0. Then I'm going to 6 times 3 will equal 18.
Okay, awesome. So she did it a different way. So she set hers up like 600 times 3. Did anyone solve it a different way but still got the same answer? Anna, what did you do?
I did, I knew that 6 times 3 was 18, and then I added 2 zeros. On in between the 1 and the 8 because otherwise, because it's 1,800, so
Okay.
you can either say 1,800 or 1,000.
Exactly, that's so true. You can say 1,800, or she know that there were 18 100s in the number. Okay, let's look at our next one. 5,000 times 5. Eric, what did you get?
I got 25,000.
Awesome, 25,000. How did you get that?
I multiplied 5 times 5 and got 25 and 5,003 shares for 7.
Exactly, you saw your multiplication fact. 5 times 5. You knew that was 25. You took away your thousands, so you added it back. Okay, awesome. We're gonna pause there. Okay, now for our other side, I have to tell you a problem that I have first. So I saw Miss Ravel, and for my school, I need to do a fundraiser. And I was talking to her, what has Ogletree done? And she said, well, at our campaign Ogletree, we sold pizzas, and she told me that off just pizza sales alone, the school made $320. And she's like, you should do that. Okay, how much did you sell your pizzas for? And she told me $4. So they made $320 by selling pizzas at $4 a slice. And we were trying to figure out how many people they sold pizza to if I wanted to make that much money. And she was trying to think, well, I know I would need to divide 4 into 320. But then that would take so long to count 4 groups into 320. So she knew her problem was 320 divided by 4. And I know we talked about how you can make she could make 4 big circles. She could tally in each circle until she got into 320. But that would take a very long time, and she would have to be very careful on how many tallies she was putting in so she didn't mess up. So I said, let me think. I bet I can figure out another way that we can divide to make it easier for you with this very big number. So I said 320 divided by 4. I see a basic division in there. 32 divided by 4. And I know that I got from 320 to 32 because 32 tens equals 320. So basically what I'm doing is 32 tens divided by 4 equals blank tens. Who can tell me what 32 divided by 4 is? Sarah Kate. Let's see. So to check our problem, we would do 4 times 7. So that would be 7, 14, 21. That would be 28. Almost. We want to try and get to 32. So let's think again. What? I'm going to give you a moment to think. I'm going to go to someone else and come back to you, okay? Brock, what would 32 divided by 4 equal? Let's check it. 4 times 8. 8, 16, 24, 32. So we have 32 divided by 4 equals 8. So if we have 8 tens, Sarah Kate, what does that mean? 80. You got it. So 8 tens equals 80. So I could tell Mr. Bell that I know 80 people bought her pizza. Because when I broke my problem down, I knew that when she sold each slice for $4, 80 times 4 equals 320. Okay, let's try a problem together. On your paper, I want you to write 120 on your, this is on your right side on the bottom. I want you to write 120 divided by 4. The first thing we're going to do is I want you to underline your basic division problem. So I want you to underline 12 and 4, and we're going to write 12 divided by 4. So I want to make sure you write both on your math sheet. So you have 120 divided by 4, and then break it down to 12 divided by 4. And what is 12 divided by 4? Anna?
3.
Good, 3. But Luke, is 3 our final answer?
No.
Why not?
If you really did do 4 divided by 12, it would be easy to just add it. You have to add
We have to add our
those zeros.
zeros, right? So how many zeros did we take away?
Took away 1 0.
Yep, so we moved from we had 12 tens, we took away the tens, so now we need to add back our tens. So let's do another one. I'm going to do 8,100 divided by 9. What's the first thing I need to do, Stephanie?
The first thing that you need to do is underline the 8 and the 1 and the 9, and that would be 81.
81, yes, so we found our basic division problem, so she said it was 81 and 9. And so what did you take away from 8,100? to get 81?
I took my 8,000 and my 1 for my 100.
Yeah, she took away her hundreds. So last time we took away tens, this time we took away hundreds. That's so important for you to realize what you're taking away, because you can't just take away the 2 zeros. You have to know why. You're taking away 100. Okay, so what is, I know I threw a comma here, I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. No razors messing me up. What is 81 divided by 9? Olivia. So let's just first do 81 divided by 9. 9, you got it. And then what's the next thing you were telling us that we needed to do?
9 times 9 equals 81. So you add 2 zeros and then you get 100.
Exactly, we bring our 2 zeros back to bring our place value back of the 100s. All right, now for our next one, I'm gonna have you guys do the next problem by yourself. So the next problem I want you to do is 3,600 divided by 6. So go ahead on your paper, I want you to solve that. What is the first thing that you looked for, Harrison, when you saw this problem?
I underlined the numbers.
And what did you underline?
I underlined 3,606.
Should I underline the whole thing? Which part of it should I underline?
Just 3,600.
And 6. So then what is your new basic division problem?
36 divided by 6.
Which equals?
6.
But am I done yet, Sadie?
No, because you didn't have a 0 from the 600.
Yes, I have to add back my hundreds. So I'm going to add back my 2 zeros to get my final answer of 600. All right, let's do one more. I want you to do 160 divided by 4. Sarah Beth, what's the first thing you did?
So I was thinking, okay, so 4 times 4 would equal 16.
Awesome.
And then I added my 0, so it equals 40.
Okay, so you knew that you needed to get to 16, right? And you knew that your divisor was 4. So you told me 16 divided by 4, and you knew that equaled 4. But you knew you weren't done yet because you took away what? The 0. And what's our place value for that?
40.
It's going to make it 40. Yes, we're adding a tens. We're adding our tens place, holding that in there. All right, awesome. Okay, is there any questions on how we did that? Nope. Okay, awesome. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to break for daily 3. And you can either do math. Yes, you can take out your whiteboard and your extra marker. You can do math by yourself or math with someone. And Miss Sasser and I are going to come around and work with a few groups. So if we ask you to, just pause what you're doing and work with us. When you are doing your math daily 3, we're going to be doing what you've been doing for the past couple of days, which is with your roll, break, solve. You can either do multiplication, or you can be practicing your division with your remainders. When Miss Sasser and I are working with you, we're going to be practicing dividing with your tens, hundreds, and thousands. But when you're with your partner, I just want you to either be doing roll, break, solve with division and remainders, or multiplication. But before we go into that, I want to talk about some of our expectations for math with someone during daily 3. And someone to remind me, Weston, what's something important we should all remember? Good, don't pick your recess friend, pick a math friend. Someone you're going to be able to spend this whole time practicing these important facts with. Anna, what's something else you can tell us? Use your partner. So who's the only person that should be able to hear you when you're doing that? Your partner. Yep, use your partner voice. Thank you. Cooper, what's something else important?
Use items appropriately.
Use items appropriately, exactly. So we're going to be doing with our die today, so make sure you're keeping them in your space. What's something else important for expectations? Yes, Olivia?
Ignore distractions. If someone accidentally distracts you when you go to the bathroom, just ignore them because you're spending time paying attention to them. You're not doing that.
Awesome. So you're telling us ignore distractions and don't be a distraction. So our math daily 3 rounds aren't super long, so make sure you're using that time intentionally. What's something else, Stephanie? Persevere, I like that. Persevere, that's a good one. Thank you. Okay, so those are all your expectations for you. And for me, as a teacher, my expectation is going to be working with students. So I'll be coming around to work with you guys. So when you go, you just need, as usual, your expo marker, your eraser, and your board. For our bean bags, Anna, and whoever you choose to work with. Okay, when I call your name, please let me know where you're going to go. I'm going to start with Stephanie. Luke. Anna. Sarah Beth. Harrison. Liam. Ashton. Eric. Sadie. Timma. Jaden. Rush. Lauren. Okay. Riley. Okay. Andrew. Oh. Zay. Melody. Cooper. Jeffrey. Haley. Olivia. Weston. Brock. Sarah Kate. Una. Okay.